they still are up by 18 points.
Yeah, and it was even more evident in the first game here played in Macau last time. Macau Black Bears just went in the first half firing the blazes, just knocking down nearly every shot. That got them a big lead, and Alab was going to try to rally, but it was just too big of a deficit, and that's how the Macau Black Bears themselves have been at home.
Start of the fourth quarter, what needs to happen for Alab Pilipinas?
That guy right there, he's got to really pick up his offensive game. And he does right there with a 3 of his own to start the quarter.
That's a good start to the fourth from Ray Parks. He's got 9 points, shooting 4 out of 12 from the field. That's his first 3-pointer in this game in 5 takes. Spencer attacking the basket, the kick out. Chan, long bomb, sails out of bounds. Alab Pilipinas, what's a short-term target they have here, TK? At what point should the lead be down maybe to single digits?
They really need to just focus on slowing down Mike McKinney and just getting good shots, getting good, efficient baskets, chipping it in bit by bit. They're not a team that really explodes the fronts, but just their defense has been their calling card, and that's just what they need to do.
Good defense there played by Mike McKinney, recovering. With the initial defender was the Warwick Spencer, was left on the screen. And that's what makes McKinney one of the best players really in the league, is because he can score on the points, but he also plays a lot of defense.
And he puts a lot of effort in stopping the players he's assigned to be guarded as well. The coaching staff might switch him on to lesser threatening opponents, but he's got to put 110% on that end no matter what.
That's a turnover for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. Macau just making it very difficult for the visiting team to operate on offense. I think the ball was deflected at least 3 times in that possession, and eventually it became a turnover for Alab. Watkins with that pass from McKinney. He scores, he plays defense, he even sets his teammates up for easy buckets.
And that was one of the easiest sets for Watkins, just passing him straight into motion for him to turn around and get the 2.
That's only the 4th point of Brian Watkins, actually. Ray Parks getting it right back on the other side. 8 and 20 remaining in the game. Black Bears going to McKinney. McKinney trying to escape. Fall away. Is there any shot that he cannot make?
McKinney wins again. And that marks another 40-point game. What a scoring talent he is.
Here's Parks. Flipping it up. Oh, the shot was before the whistle. That's what the referees say. They don't count the basket. Take a look at it one more time. Oh, I thought that should have counted. On the replay, it looked like it was continuation.
Still though, Parks seems like he's picking up his pace. He scored at least 22 in his past 2 games, so you know that he has the capacity, especially with Ronaldo Balkman out. There's a lot of shots to be left over, and he's trying to take control of them here in this final quarter. And
especially because he's coming off a brilliant performance against Formosa. It ended up in a loss, but he did have 26 points on 11 for 17 shooting. Check that, yeah, 27.6 rebounds and a couple of assists. Spencer misses, defense of Javelona, right in the face of the Warwick.
Ryan Watkins there, almost got a sneaky steal. Got a little bit too much contact on the arm of Ramos.
Still a 17-point lead for Alab as Ramos gets a hammer down.
You don't see that very often, how Ramos just quickly moves towards the basket, usually like to search out the area and see his options, but right there he made it a point to attack with a slam.
Kian blocked from behind, but still got it to go. Sumalino was even called for a foul. Everything going the Macau Black Bears' way right now.
And that's a strong finish by Kian. You know that he's He's a proven scorer. He played in the University League here in China, the CUBA. And he was really known for his scoring there. He knows how to put points on the board. He's averaging around 8 points this season for Macau as a late season pickup, and that's why that play there. That's why they brought him in here in this last stretch of towards the playoffs.
And that's also what I really like about the new format of rosters here in the ABL. You only have 3 American imports, and then you're a bit more lenient when it comes to the locals. You're really encouraging all these teams to find the best local talent they can get. And hey, Macau Black Bears have a discovery in Chan. But San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, one thing that we know already is that they boast of some of the best local talent here in the league, but injuries really hurting this team at this point.
Yeah, and the guys have been stepping up here, Rivero, Torres, or Javilona, Sumalino. These guys have really had to step up in this game to produce quality minutes. They're down by now, but the experience here of getting burned in a crucial game like this is going to really help them in the playoffs once the injuries start to recover.
Speaking of locals, how about Liu Xiao? He has been a very important player for the Macau Black Bears in the entire tournament.
Yeah, he started out as a really big-time scorer for the Macau Black Bears early in the season. He had a big game against the Dreamers earlier in January. 26 points. He didn't really finish as a win for the Black Bears, but he's a guy who can really knock the 3 down. He has good size to be able to mix it up down low as well. But the Macau Black Bears, they have a really good combination of local players with different skill sets that can bring in at any point of the game to really mix up the dimension of their offense.
Yeah, you're right. And if we're talking about Macau and Alab Pilipinas, you're talking about 2 of the deepest teams, deepest rosters you'll find in the league today. And you know what, TK, we're already playing the 24th game of both these teams. And it's also something bigger that we're doing as Mike McKinney continues to pour on the points. He's not done yet. 42 big ones already for him. And he's just smiling through every make. Look at him, speed to the bucket, get past 3 defenders, and still get it to go.
That's a finish with his left hand as well. It's just knowing the angles to throw it up there and giving you the best chance to put the ball in.
Mike McKinney is the reigning Heritage Import MVP, is a Filipino-American, and he just loves playing against San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. He could be a local for that team, but he opts to show that he deserves to be an import. He is at that level. And again, we've shaken things up here in the ABL. We're now getting 3 American imports, no more Heritage Import. But Macau Black Bears still sticking to McKinney as their reinforcement really goes to show the talent of that guy, as Leon gets shaken up too by that foul from Rivero.
Yeah, and that's a good point about McKinney. We had 3 Heritage imports from last season that moved over to this season as world imports. Jason Brickman, Mario Wuisang, and Mike McKinney. While those 3 are really talented players in their own regards, Mike McKinney has stood out as the guy who's been able to retain his position as a world import in this league, and he's actually making a push as a world import MVP candidate as well at this point.
Definitely. I think it really also was his partnership with Anthony Tucker that stood out. Last year, they were playing alongside 2 other imports, in Justin Howard and Kalen Tiongson, who's now playing for Alab Pilipinas. But it was really Anthony Tucker and Mike McKinney who were the heart and soul of that team. They can switch it up, whoever the heart and the soul is, but Tiongson got to where they got last year because of those 2 guys.
And you have to remember that McKinney came last season as a mid-season addition. He came during the New Year's break, if I recall correctly, so he didn't have an entire offseason to gel with the team as he's done here, and it's really showed how much it affects his game. He's been really able to put up even more numbers from last year that was already got him from the start.
And these 2 teams, including the Black Bears, are on their way to the quarterfinals. It's just a matter of which seeds they will take when we finally begin the playoffs. But I think these two teams are very strong contenders. Possibly, you know, it wouldn't be too surprising if it's going to be a Macau versus Alab Pilipinas finals. But you also have to look at the rest of the playing field and understand how many other teams are worthy of getting all the way to the top.
And right now in the middle of the standing, it's just a mix of everyone. They're only a win or two apart, and these final few games could really change the standings drastically. As you mentioned, Macau could fall from the top 4 down to the bottom 4 if they continue to lose in this game, which doesn't look that probable right now. But that just says about how much the competition level has been in this season.
Absolutely, and a lot of new things. It just continues to get better here in the ABL as the Warwick Spencer, another 30-point output for him. He's got 32 already. And he has just been balling out here in the ABL. Back-to-back 30-point games for him to open up his ABL career. Not so bad.
Not so bad at all, especially for a guy who's been a year away.
That's right. You know, it's crazy, and it's just the talent of the Warwick Spencer. 1 year away from playing professionally in Lebanon. PJ Ramos will be pulled out of this game, perhaps for good. You know, the last thing Coach Jimmy Alapag wants to see here is his other import also getting hurt. 3 guys missing this game for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. They didn't have Ronaldo Bogman, no Lawrence Domingo, no Brandon Rosser, and those 3 guys too, very heavy in the rotation of Coach Alapag.
And that's going to be up to the guys on the floor here to just show that they're worthy of the minutes as well, that they can produce. It's their time to shine.
Albano will miss that time. TK, what has been your favorite new thing here in Season 9 of the ABL?
Well, one of the things that you mentioned is the leniency of the local player
eligibility.
Local player eligibility. It's created a lot of leeway for players and for teams to be creative with their roster building, as you said, with Albano or guys like Jenny Leung being able to play for Macau Black Bears. It's just a fun way to see how teams can be built and how much more effort they have to put in scouting to get these players to build up their teams.
And I think my favorite part of it is a lot more basketball games. There are up to 26 games per team instead of just 20, and there are 10 teams, the most number we've had ever in the ABL. And that just means more basketball for everyone. And this league continues to reach further heights and wider, as wide as we can. And you know, who knows how the ABL will look like several years from now. At this point, it's just a Macau Black Bears show. 26-point lead now for them. Mike McKinney already with 43 points. Warwick Spencer knocking on the 40s with 38 big ones. He might get to that with 2:45 remaining in this game. Yep. The Macau Black Bears well on their way to collecting another win on at home. It's going to be over San Miguel Alab Pilipinas, who has struggled through this game. Started off very good, but eventually the fire that McKinney and Spencer caught were just enough to build this 26-point lead. Avelona on the run. It's Torres. Couldn't make the 3-pointer. Actually, the 3-pointers of both teams, a big factor in this game too, TK. Alab Pilipinas started out strong, making a lot. I think it was 7 in the first quarter, first 2 quarters, especially with Orbistondo getting a lot. And there it is, a 40-piece bucket for the Warwick Spencer.
This is definitely the first time that we've had 2 40-point scorers in one game on the same team. So just showing how much talent there is in those 2 imports for the Macau Black Bears.
There's also the scouting of the Black Bears. Imagine, we thought that there was no guard rule in terms of imports that could have gotten better than Tucker McKinney. Now this dude is making us think twice.
Well, we're not going to say that Warwick Spencer is better than Tucker.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But yeah, I get your point that it's not a bad replacement, and he's been playing his mind off. Just scoring 34 and 40 in this game. It's just a great sign for the Macau Black Bears. But as you mentioned, the scouting How do you expect to scout a guy who hasn't been playing in the past year and expect him to come in and be such an important factor for a team that's looking to make a deep run in the playoffs?
And you'll also hear the coaches, the GMs, and everyone on the team management of the Macau Black Bears. They'll tell you, oh, he's still trying to get back in shape and in game timing. And if he still isn't back, I don't know how much he'll score, how much impact he'll make in a game when he finally is. Here's Spencer again. See, he's trying to get rebounds.
And you really love that second jump, as you see there from him. We've seen that in the last game too. Just being able to quickly get back up in the air to get those offensive rebounds is a quality that's really underrated for him too.
Abelona gets a defender up in the air. Rivero will miss on the reverse layup, and Spencer will send it out to King. Derek King will enjoy a pristine path to the hoop. The Macau Black Bears, their lead up to 30 big points, half a minute remaining here in Foshan. And boy, what a win this will be for the Black Bears. How important is this for them, TK?
Just the confidence of coming out here to win this game against the league leaders by a large margin, coming out and losing to the Mono Vampire in the previous game. It's going to be huge for them. Down the stretch, as we mentioned, there's only a few games left. This is one game that they will look to and be able to point out that we have that potential here against all teams in the league.
Absolutely. The defending champs go down for the 6th time in this tournament. It's a 114-84 win for the Macau Black Bears. 43 points for Mike McKinney and 42 for the Warren Spencer.
Those two just barely outscoring the whole Alab Pilipinas squad. 85 points between them.